that was corny. Hey y'all, thanks for tuning into episode 4 of Everybody's Hype. If you're watching or listening to this right now, I'm happy and hype you're here. Okay. Today is an important episode because we'll be getting into financial planning and setting up your future with a guest. Yes, I have a guest. We love the future. Well, I love the future. I don't know about y'all, but we love the future over here because it's important. Okay. You know what else I love? Well, I like. I don't love. Let's get into something I like. I've been getting so many DMs about this, so I just want to save myself from missing out on endorsements. I know, but I just want to let y'all know I do like Applebee's. I'm not fronting on Applebee's. I go to Applebee's. I go to Chili's. I was just saying y'all for the first date. Like, damn, goddamn, at least take me to Red Lobster. Like, no, but seriously, like, it's nothing wrong with Applebee's. I like Applebee's for like a burger or something. I was just saying like first date vibes. Let's do a little better, you know? Okay. I just wanted to make that clear so everybody know I'm not no bougie thing. I eat Applebee's. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, let's get into this 4th episode because like I said, it's very important and we're talking about the future. Okay. All right. You ready? Lights, camera, action. All right, hey y'all. Like I said, this is episode 4, and I have a guest. This is my girl Corey. Say hey, Corey. I've known Corey since 6th grade. You know what I'm saying? I known this girl for a long time. She always been real smart and intelligent, so I knew the future was bright. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into financial planning. So Corey gave me some details on financial planning before. She was trying to put me on game, but the way my brain is set up, I like to do everything myself. But I think I need to tune in because adult life is coming at me, and I really do want to set myself up for the future. So, you gave me those details before, but could you tell everybody that's listening, like, what exactly financial planning is?
So financial planning is basically just being prepared for your future and making sure that you are able to leave your legacy.
Okay. It's simple. Goddamn, it's crazy. You told me that. I really didn't remember that short.
It's really not. But the thing is, people, we talk about generational wealth. We talk about leaving a legacy, but we don't know how to necessarily do that. Yes, we can start a business, but how can we make sure that the money from that business is going to be passed on for generations?
Yeah, because it could definitely stop after you're done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what it is.
Why do you think financial planning is important? Like why do you think it's important?
So think about it, right? We don't have a head start. Mm-hmm. Like you go to other races, white people, Asians, or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. And they have a head start because their parents and their parents and their parents have already done enough. So they already have something to start out with. Mm-hmm. Whereas though the Black community, and we literally have to start over every single time. And that's because we're not familiar with what a financial plan is, how a financial plan works, so that's why it's really important. Does that answer your question?
No, it does. It does for sure. Because even like with me, I mean, my mom always tells me like she has, money stashed for me. She tells me, you know what I'm saying, when she's gone, like I'll be straight, but it's still not like, it's not like it's enough where I could take it and raise my family with it. Like I could take it and, I mean, I don't know how much it is, but I don't know if I can multiply it for like generations to come. And I feel like people don't even think about that at all. I mean, nowadays I feel like people are, how social media is and everybody wants to be a money guru or some type of thing. But I definitely feel like it's not thought about as much as it should be. We're just selfish. I mean, everybody loves their kids, blah, 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 blah. But it still is selfish knowing that, because most of the time people, once their kid is an adult, it's over. It's like, all right, have fun, buddy. Like, go do your thing. But yeah, we definitely should. I feel like it definitely should be talked about more.
I want to chime in on that, right? So you think you consider it selfish, and I get that mindset. Mm-hmm. However, you got to think about it. Where are we having this conversation? They're not teaching it to us in school.
Mm-hmm.
If our don't know about it, how can they even educate us on the topic?
Mm-hmm.
And then if somebody comes to us like me, for instance, I approach you about, hey, let's discuss your own personal financial plan. We don't know what the hell that is. So the waters are so murky. It's like, first of all, I don't even have enough money for whatever you're talking about for one. You know what I mean? Like it's so it's kind of like, I understand, but I wouldn't be in this business if, it costs, a significant amount of money to invest in a financial plan. First of all, it doesn't cost you anything to start a financial plan. That kind of defeats the purpose if you think about it. Like, if we're trying to structure our finances, how am I going to pull out money to do that, right? I'm kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the actual thing. It's kind of more so a allocation of funds so that it can stretch over long term and so that we can build our legacy, So it's not our fault. Like, I don't blame us at all. Like, I don't blame us, but I do blame us for, like, we do have to, let down that shield.
Yeah.
To say and kind of just be open up to at least learning about it. Once you learn about it, then you're like, oh, snaps. I can start.
Like, I could have been doing this. Yeah.
For $20.
Yeah. It's as simple as putting the smallest amount of money away.
It's a long-term process. Like, it's not like you do everything at once. You're not starting retirement, investing and everything at once. No. We start here. A few years later, we'll add a little bit more. A few years later, we'll add a little bit more. Yeah. So that's how it really works. It's a long-term process. It's not like a quick get rich quick scheme or anything like that.
Yeah. So with all your learning, do you know about like investing?
I'm familiar with investing, yeah.
Okay, so everybody's hype. We're talking about what's the main point is to get back into what like is going on around, what everybody's hype about right now. So I know you've had to see all this scamming going on during this pandemic. And yes, we all know scamming been around. Shout out to the OGs that been doing this. Yes. But I've just been seeing like a lot of things going on with like this PPP and the small business loans, and people are bringing in all this money, but people aren't doing smart things. I'm seeing a lot of traveling. I mean, I'm into that. I respect that part, but I'm seeing a lot of traveling. I'm seeing a lot of buying clothes and bust down rollies, et cetera, et cetera. Like, what do you think people should be investing in with this money? Like,
first of all, consumers, right? We were never taught to sit there and invest. Like I said, where are we going to? So naturally, once we have money, all we know
is learning from Instagram nowadays.
Right. So once we have money, all we know is to spend. Like, okay, I have money. I use money to spend. But this is my quote, my famous quote. I say, I worked hard for my money, so now I have to make my money work hard for me.
Ooh.
That's the goal. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Sit back. You worked hard for that. Now let that money grow. That's how rich people can sit back. Yeah. Those are rich people. I can sit back and my money in the market. You know what I mean?
They can be in Aruba while they're still making an income.
While still making money. And you don't have to be a millionaire or billionaire to do that. All you got to do is smart with your money. So to answer your question, like, what investment should you do? Any investment. Start a business. Invest in mutual funds. Mutual funds is basically a bunch of stocks wrapped in one. So you're not invested in one stock at a particular time. You're invested in a few of the top stocks at once. Crypto is cool. I'm not a huge fan of crypto because
I'm dabbling.
It's like, yeah, right. It's kind of like, let's be careful. But crypto is cool. I know a lot of people who have been successful with crypto. But yeah, any type of investment, just invest. That's the first step. Invest. You can change investments later, but if you don't have your money locked up anywhere to grow at all, you're just literally spending on a trip. That's money that you had and then it's gone. Yeah. The goal is to have money, not to spend money. So you got that messed up. Like, for sure. The person in the room last with a whole bunch of money is going to be better off than the person who bought Louis Vuitton bags and so forth and this, that, and the fifth. Like, you're broke now.
Yeah, you're broke. But you have a rollie. Yeah, shout out to you because you got a rollie.
But you got a rollie.
Yeah.
That lost value.
Mm-hmm.
Bought it. So
yeah. I need to get into the mutual fund. So like I bought a few stocks. My dad tried to put me onto it like a few years ago. But I'd be scared to put a lot of money into that type of stuff. Like, I'd be putting the smallest amounts. But sometimes I feel like if I just was like, let me just throw a couple hundred on this, I would have been up by now. But it's like, it's so scary thinking like it's a possibility you might not make that money back.
So So when you invested in your stocks, did your dad choose your stocks, or did you?
No, I chose my own. I mean, when he first told me about it, this was like maybe 2018. Around that time, Canada just legalized weed, so it was like this one stock that was supposed to go up when that happened. But like after that happened, we started legalizing it down here, so like it didn't move as crazy as it was supposed to. So it's like, luckily I didn't put that much into it, but it was still like, what if I did? And then I would have been shit out.
Well, did the stock go down, or did it just not increase as much?
It just didn't increase. Like, I don't even look. I haven't looked at it in a long time, but it just hasn't increased. It hasn't done anything.
So can you check it out? Like, can you check it out?
Look, I'm about to look right now. Let me see.
I'm so curious because even if it's stable, it's kind of like you didn't lose. If it went down, typically, right? So with stocks, you have to be careful. Not necessarily be careful, but you have to understand that it's a long-term process. Again, most of your gains are going to be long-term if you're trying to limit your risk. Yeah. But, you know, you can't expect to put money in a stock in the next year, I'm rich. Yeah. No. People are investing in stocks for their retirement. Mm-hmm. People are investing in stocks for that to stay in for years and years and years. Yeah. And that's your actual return because you want to buy in low, take out high.
I feel like that's the disconnect, like that's happening now. People are looking at it as like a get rich quick, and it's really not.
That's really not. Generational wealth. Generational wealth is your lifetime plus more. Mm-hmm. So the thing is, this mindset of thinking quick, I feel like our ancestors probably thought in a similar way, or they just didn't know how to protect and that's a big thing, protecting assets. Because what happens, they'll die and the government will say, oh, okay, you got a whole bunch of debt. Let me take that house.
Yeah.
Let me take all your cash. Let me take whatever assets you had because you have to pay. Yeah. However, if a financial planner, they know how to limit those risks to say, okay, these funds cannot be touched by creditors. So they'll definitely remain in your family. We'll help you create a trust so that no matter what, they cannot take these funds.
Yeah.
But again, who's having this conversation with Black people?
Nobody. Like I've definitely, like I said, I've heard about not so much generational wealth. Like my mom was walking around here like, we need generational wealth, blah, blah, blah. But she, like I said, she did like instill, get health insurance, get this insurance. I have life insurance, so if something happens to me, get it, da 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 da. Yeah. But like you said, I feel like a lot of our people haven't really been put onto this. And I was gonna ask you, why do you think we haven't? But really, where is it being taught? But that's a whole nother conversation because there's a lot of stuff in schools that's not being taught that needs to be talked about.
That's another conversation.
That's a whole nother conversation. That's the first problem right there. But nowadays, I feel like, and back to the stock though.
Yes. I'm curious.
I feel like let me look at in the last year, like, it had like a little spike.
Okay.
Not really. This thing ain't going up that much. In the past year, it went up 0.27 cents. But I don't remember how much I put into it. And I don't know how to check that on here, but like, I didn't put in that much. It just says my total return is $1.70. So it's like,
okay.
And I've been sitting on that for 2 years. But
okay. Because I want to touch on.
Oh, go ahead.
So here's the thing, right? So with stocks, people need to understand that stocks are all about speculation about what will happen in the future. Yep. But there are ways to educated guesses, right? Mm-hmm. So if you go on, if we have an iPhone, right, there's a reason why those news articles are there. Mm-hmm. So news articles tell investors, is this company about to merge with another company? Is this company about to hire another CEO? So real investors, okay, I found out this company is about to hire another CEO. Where did the CEO come from? Did this CEO come from a failing company? Because that's about to tell you a lot of investors who are really on top of their finances are most likely about to pull out because they're scared that this business is about to go downhill because this CEO just made the last business that they came from go downhill. So I don't have trust in the CEO. I'm about to pull out my investment. So really have to look at it from that standpoint and think about how other investors are going to move. Because if an investor who owns, a third of those stocks pulls out, that stock is about to plummet just from that one investor.
Yeah.
So personally, it's going to do well. It doesn't matter what you think. You have to think about how others are about to move. Mm-hmm. And also just think about consumers' actions. At the beginning of the pandemic, I invested in Groupon, and
Mm.
Groupon turned out to work out for me pretty well. So I thought
Imagine,
of it.
wait, imagine the people that invested into those blue masks.
Blue Mask. I'm
Yes,
not.
those like the blue mask that everybody wears.
Oh
Imagine
yeah.
those people. Mind you, when they first invested into that back in the day, when they never thought it was going to go up like this.
Of course.
Just like with Kodak, people that invested in the Kodak became billionaires or millionaires overnight
Yeah.
because of the vaccine thing. Like they was
Yeah.
doing something with the vaccine. It's like
Mhm.
some things really surprise you,
Yeah.
but it's like you said, it's definitely like a guess. It's
You
just
gotta.
you have to guess. You have to watch what's going on. Like
You have, yeah.
I recently just bought into. I have to buy some more because, like I said, I be being cheap. But I think I'm gonna start buying something with every paycheck. But I've been buying into Gap
Okay.
because Kanye West just
Okay.
did some collab. Like they're working on a
I,
collab. They talked about this last year. So I'm like, we might be up to something. I'm like, let
okay.
me get into this because everything he sells, like people like go crazy for it. So I'm like, let me get on this Gap, you know what I'm saying, to see how it's gonna move because I think whatever they doing is finally gonna drop this summer. So it's
Okay.
like, let me buy up now because hopefully it's a good return. I hope.
Yeah.
I'm praying. But
Well.
yeah, it's crazy how it's really just a guess. You just have to watch. Like you said, you just
Yeah.
gotta watch around.
Yeah. You do.
Yeah.
Any investment is like that though. Even when we're starting a business,
Mm-hmm.
um, it's kind of like you can make it or it can break. Like depending on marketing conditions at the time, depending on if people really like your product, depending on some factors, right?
Yeah.
So it's not like I have this product is definitely going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's investments are risky for a reason.
Yeah.
But we can make educated
Mm-hmm.
investments. So that's where you come in at.
So with back to financial planning. I
Yeah.
remember when we spoke, we were talking more about like life insurance and like health insurance. Like, what's your whole thing with that?
Okay.
Well, like I
Okay.
said, I was.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, health insurance, yes, we do want to have health insurance because we don't want to have a bunch of debt due to medical reasons, So that's the main reason why we definitely want to make sure we have health insurance. Good health insurance if you can, because doctors do care about that. And better health insurance clients do get better care, but that's another conversation. Life insurance. So here is the way that I structure my financial plans, right? So start off with life insurance, point blank period. Because if anything ever happened to you, regardless, I want to make sure that something is going to be passed down through our lineage regardless. Yeah. So we'll start off say we start off around our age, right? $500,000 policy around our age. I'm saying early 20s. That costs you about 20 something dollars. So that's to say guaranteed if something happens to me within like
I'm paying like 20 a month or something.
Yes. And if it were to happen to you, $500,000 is being passed on to your family. Now, what they do with that money is up to them. Now it's their job, right, to educate themselves. How am I going to invest the money so that we can still grow? And let's put another policy on, that this money continue to grow. Because what happens is, in Asian communities, what they do is they put a life insurance policy on the eldest member in their family. And when that person passes away, brings out probably millions of dollars within the family. Maybe they'll probably get $1 million, $2 million policy. $2 million goes into the family. All right, we'll pay off all the debt in the family, pay for the kids' college education, buy the houses, and so forth, right? Then we do that again. Everybody puts up money for the next eldest member. We're all going to pay this premium every month. When that person passes away, $2-3 million again, just continuously being shelled out into the family. So that's one thing that they do. But again, we start off with life insurance. Make sure everything that we build on from here on out is going to be protected. Then we focus on retirement because we want about, at least 3 checks, 3 or 4, but at least 3 checks coming in. Social Security is only going to give you the average Social Security amount is about $1,400 a month. That's why you see older people working in Walmart. Yeah. That's why people working in these low income jobs because they need something to supplement that income. It's not enough. However, we're not having this conversation, so we don't even realize that until we're about to retire, and it's like, oh, this is all I'm getting. Yeah. Never invested in
a retirement plan.
Exactly. You don't have a retirement plan. So we focus on our retirement to making sure that once we get there, you'll be set regardless. Then we focus on our mutual funds and our investments. So we're growing. And then once we're in like our 40s or 50s, we invest in something called long-term care. But again, this is all a process. I won't come to you and say, oh, let's do life insurance, retirement, investments, everything right now. No, I'll come to you a few years later and say, okay, now we're ready to do the next step. You know, we have a better paying job now. We're making more money now. We already have the life insurance locked away. Now let's slowly in increments bring a little bit more. So like I said, it's a long-term process. So
yeah,
once people get over that nervousness and realize they can pay a Netflix subscription to leave their family with a, you know, with like leave their life like yeah, whether your business takes off or not, regardless, you're going to leave something. Regardless, your family will be like, oh, he was a goat, or oh yeah, she was a goat. You know what I mean? She passed away and left us 500. I didn't even know she had that. Like, I didn't even know, you know?
That's crazy how that works, though. So, like, let's say, I'm not going to use myself because I don't want to put no time on my death, but let's say Timmy starts the insurance policy right now, and he's paying $20 a month and dies at 40.
Okay.
Where is $500,000 coming from? Because that's not, so like, where are they getting the money from?
So we can go into depth. So for one, life insurance is based off of 3 factors: age, health, and gender. The younger you are, the better rate that you'll get because you're less likely to die soon, right? Health, because again, healthier. So again, we're limiting our risk, right? Healthier, younger, we want you, right? And then gender. Apparently, females live longer than males, so we tend to get, not anything significant, but you know, it is what it is. So with that being said, you know, that's the insurance company. It's called adverse selection. You know, so we're not going to get a whole bunch of sickly people, like people who have like cancer. They can't get life insurance anymore. They'll get denied. Not everybody can get life insurance. People who probably have too many DUIs on their record. I've had people who get denied because of DUIs. I have people that get denied for, you know, again, just having a whole bunch of health risks. Like, yes, we'll consider some things. Like if you have asthma, it's not like, okay, it's like, okay, fine. But you know, they do limit their risk when choosing to approve a client to have life insurance. So that's where that really comes from. So everybody's putting money into this, but the people that are actually using the policy at once is small at the time because we're accepting healthier people, you know. So it's not like, you know, everybody's dying all the time because they're not unhealthy. So and the thing is, once you lock in your insurability, it's not like they can take it back. It's not like, oh, I got cancer. They're like, oh no, we're gonna take it back. Okay. No, you already got insurability, so you're cool. You did it soon enough. Thank goodness. But some people long, so now they're like, damn, I wish I could have left my child something, but I waited too long. Like damn. So and there's also, to answer your question too, right? I was about to say.
Wait, that wasn't the question.
Right. So I go into the depths of the 2 types of policies because that might take up too much time. Okay. But basically, a term policy that costs you about $20, that only lasts you for about 10 to 20 years.
Like you're only paying it off for 10 to 20.
For 10 to 20. You're only paying it for 10 to 20 years. But after that term, you have to move on to a permanent policy. Okay. And a permanent policy is a separate policy. And separate policy is different factors incorporated into it, but you know, that's different from your term policy. So your term policy costs less than your whole life policy. So that's the gist. All right.
I'll definitely look more into it. Well, I can just call you.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Have you ever heard of some? Say that again.
I said anyone else who's interested, you know, they can reach out to.
Oh yeah, wait, slow down. We're gonna get into your shout out.
Seriously, serious.
Have you ever heard of an app called Digit?
I have. I'm not as familiar with it though.
All right, so I have Digit, and basically you can make like little savings things. So like on here, I have like a hair savings, like to save up for my wig. I have a vacation savings. I have a property savings, and it. Oh. What? Your phone died?
Yes. And I plugged it in on purpose, and it still died. I plugged it in.
I'm crying. All right. Before the technical difficulties, I was saying, I have this. Digit. So like I have the different savings, and like you can set like a date where like you want the money by, and it takes little amounts of money from your account every day. And I love it because you know what I'm saying. Definitely keeps me on track with stuff. So like I like buying stuff like anybody. So like I recently just made a earn clothes shopping. So I had a set amount to end at the end of each month. So like at the end of each month I can buy a certain amount of clothes and stuff like that. But something I brought it up because something new that they have on there is an investment section, and they have a retirement section on there. So you can start saving toward it says invested in your IRA, so it invests into that for you.
Yeah.
Man, that's something that people need to get. I'm gonna send this to you so you can look at it and tell your clients or something. I don't know what you get into.
Those apps. I'm sorry, my phone is tilting to the side. So I'm actually familiar with those apps. Acorns is similar.
Okay.
Where you have money, it takes it out of your account automatically and puts it aside. And I am a fan of those apps for sure. Especially for saving specifically, but not necessarily for my actual retirement. Okay. And I'll tell you why. When we're investing in our retirement, we're investing in the marketplace, stock market, right? So when that market goes up or down, it takes a toll on our retirement investments. Usually with those apps, we don't always know exactly what we're investing in, and could probably find a better strategy for your own personal needs based off of a bunch of factors when you plan to retire and so forth and so forth. Like a lot more details go into it, and that's what actual financial advisor is for. You don't want doing what a personal financial advisor is for. Like everyone doesn't have the same retirement investments for a reason because it's particular to you. Again, when you plan to retire and other factors, so I'm not a fan for using an app for your retirement because that's not as secure for me. Like I want.
Yeah, for sure. Because you never know. The company could end at any moment. What's crazy? I'll be thinking about that. Like, I have thousands of dollars in here in this app. So I'll be thinking like, yo, the app could shut down tomorrow. And then I would be out of luck.
Right. Yeah, that's true. So I'm okay with it for my savings. Like, hopefully it'll return me my savings. But the last thing I want is to have my retirement funds. The second half of my funds to be dependent on an app.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, don't listen to me, y'all. I take that back. But use it for the other purposes. Right. All right, so now you can drop your info if people want to like reach out to you and learn like a little bit more about this whole little financial planning thing. Like, you guys, financial planning and saving money and insurance, all that is cool. It's cool. Look,
it's a big deal, and my thing is I'm really focused on our demographic, our community specifically, because I understand that I understand that we have way to get this information. So I tell everyone, like, I want to be that liaison between financial literacy and our community in general, so that I can explain it in a way that we understand. Like, the last thing we need, and excuse my language, is an old white man to come in the classroom using all these terms that I'm not familiar with. It confuses more than me thinking like, what, I'm okay. Like, this is too complicated for me. I'd rather just stick to what I know. So it's kind of like, I want to explain it to the point where it's simple. And it's like, okay, this makes the most sense. And it does. But again, we don't know that yet. So you guys can reach out to me. My name is Corey Hooks. You can follow me on Facebook or LinkedIn, spelled KHORIHOOKS. I'm going to I go to a lot of community events. I'm going to start doing more. It's the summertime, so I'm excited about that. And I'm also like one of the top people in my office. I'm actually second top in my entire office in Philadelphia.
She just got that job, y'all. She just got that job.
So this is really like a passion of mine. So at this point, and being as I'm helping a mass of people, it's kind of like like this is something that I can stand for. So
yes, we love to hear it. Y'all look. I know y'all care about what like celebrities say. So remember, Jay-Z and 444 said generational wealth. Corey said generational wealth. I'm saying generational wealth.
Yes. And tell you before I go, think about it. If we came from a family of millionaires, we'd have access to better lawyers, better doctors, better schooling, a lot of things. Would just our overall quality of life would be better. So if your parents didn't start it for you, you have to be the one to do it now.
Yeah.
Sorry that it was left on you, but unless you want your family and your children in the same predicament as you, where you had to start from scratch, come on, who got a step? So
I love it. So we love to hear it, y'all. So y'all, make sure y'all check in with Corey, hit her up on Instagram and Facebook and all that stuff. Cut it with the PPP loans and all that other stuff. Investing in your future for your kids. Or no, don't stop. If y'all gonna do the PPP, just invest in, you know what I'm saying, life insurance.
Make sure come back for their money. Make sure if the government comes for their money, you still have money and can pay them back. It's like, all right, cool. Y'all can have your money back, but I'm still up.
Yes, but I'm still up, and I still have life insurance for my future.
That's all I'm.
But yeah, thank you, Corey, for coming on this episode and teaching the people something. You know, I wanted to get into something a little more educational, you know, because we want to talk about what everybody's hype about, and that's financials is definitely something that everybody is hype about, period. Okay, so yeah, thanks y'all for tuning in. Like I said, make sure to check in with Corey because y'all need to get on that. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. See you guys next week. Peace.
See you.
That was good.
That was good.